300,000 years, 20 ice ages, volcanic winters, apex predators. Neanderthals survived it all. Then, 40,000 years ago, gone. Climate didn't kill them. Disease didn't kill them. War didn't kill them. The answer is in your DNA right now. Decode the past. Ancient DNA cracked the case. From Siberia to Spain, Croatia to the Caucasus, every Neanderthal genome revealed the same fatal pattern. In a few minutes, you'll discover what killed a species that survived 300,000 years, why fragments of them live inside you, and what their extinction warns us about survival today. The answer isn't what you think. Denisova Cave, Siberia, a tooth and a handful of bone fragments. From them, researchers pulled something once thought impossible, a Neanderthal genome. Ancient DNA is a molecular fossil, 4 letters A, T, G, C, usually shattered by time. Here, it spoke. First shock, you carry Neanderthal DNA. If your ancestry is from outside Africa, about 1 to 2% of your genome comes from them. We didn't just replace Neanderthals. We met them, we had children with them, and we carry echoes of them still. Second shock, long stretches of identical DNA on both copies of many chromosomes, runs of homozygosity, a genetic red flag of small, isolated populations. One site could be an outlier, but Croatia, the Caucasus, Siberia, the same signal repeated. How does a species spread across a continent begin to vanish from the inside? When scientists ran the numbers, the answer was chilling. If this already surprised you, tell me in the comments, which trait do you think Neanderthal DNA still affects most? Immunity, skin, or cold? 60,000 years ago, Europe looked like an ocean of ice and open tundra. Neanderthals lived in small bands, little islands of warmth in a frozen sea. A valley here, a cave there, 20 people, maybe 30. In groups that small, chance turns brutal. One fever takes the only expert toolmaker. One storm removes the best hunter. Mutations that would fade in large populations don't fade here. They linger, they spread, slowly, relentlessly. Genomes told the same story again and again. Male lineages narrowing, family clusters buried within meters of each other, branching lines collapsing instead of expanding. Not expansion, contraction. Neanderthal society folded inward into shrinking refugees as climates flickered and herds shifted. Then, new footprints appeared, footprints that weren't theirs, strangers who wouldn't just pass through, they would reframe survival. 50 to 60,000 years ago, Homosapiens, our species, arrived not with better weapons first, but with numbers and networks. Where Neanderthals lived in scattered pockets, we came in waves. Where their groups struggled to reconnect, we shared ideas across great distances. When one camp failed, another sent help. Tools traveled, knowledge traveled, people traveled. We met Neanderthals. We had children together. That's why you still carry Neanderthal DNA today. Here are 3 ways it still shows up. Immune response, variants that help the body recognize and respond to infections. Skin and hair biology, tweaks linked to keratin and skin barrier traits, helpful in new environments. Cold adaptation, differences that influence how the body manages cold stress. But the exchange was one-sided. Neanderthal DNA flowed into our growing populations like a stream joining a river. Our DNA barely flowed back into theirs. Why? Because we were many, and they were few. Even light competition for food and shelter hit small bands like a hammer, and when they most needed to widen their circles, they couldn't. The math only pointed one way, toward disappearance, while some of their genes moved into us. So what ended the Neanderthals? After centuries of debate, ancient DNA gives the clearest answer. They were too few, for too long. In small populations, every loss cuts deeper, every winter hits harder, every random event grows heavier. When our wider networks arrived, we didn't have to fight them. We outlasted them. Picture the final camps, Every child precious, every skilled adult irreplaceable, every elder's memory a lifeline, a storm that shifts the herds 50 miles away. The math turns against you, one winter at a time. And yet, Neanderthals didn't simply vanish. They became part of us. Genes that help fight infection, genes that shape skin and hair, traits that endure in you today. The last Neanderthals didn't die in a cave. They live on, in us. Every time your body recognizes an infection, adapts to cold, or endures at altitude, you carry a whisper of their survival. It's a warning about isolation. It's a lesson about connection. Because diversity is survival. Networks are strength. And the human story has always been many strands braided into one river. Here's the question. What if the same fragile line between survival and extinction is one we're still testing today? That story comes next. Right now, as you watch this, Neanderthal genes are working inside you. When your immune system fights infection, some of those genes came from them. In 2020, scientists discovered a Neanderthal gene variant that makes COVID-19 infection 60% more severe. Another variant protects you. 300,000 years after they walked the earth, Neanderthal DNA still decides who lives and who dies. Their extinction carries one lesson: isolation kills, connection survives, diversity wins. The species that stayed small and separate vanished. The species that built networks and shared genes inherited the earth. That's not ancient history. That's biology, written in you. The extinction of Neanderthals is written in your genes. A warning from 300,000 years of evolution. Here's the debate question. Could Neanderthals have survived if they'd formed larger networks? Or was their extinction locked in by biology? Drop your theory below. I'll feature the best answer in our next video. Subscribe to Decode the Past. We decode the evidence. No speculation, just science. Next, scientists found DNA in Panama that shouldn't exist. 6,000 miles from its origin, 10,000 years before any known contact. The explanation rewrites human migration.